And there it is. Oh, make sure it's on YouTube first. There it is. We are live. Yay us. Is it on? Yes, it is. There's 3. There's 4. Okay, it's working.
You're going to read for 4 people?
I have before. That's what I used to do on Patreon. It was only 9 of us. How y'all doing? Happy Easter. Happy Ostara. I think that's the German goddess of spring or something like that.
I played Easter Bunny this morning for my neighbor's kids.
I saw your post on that.
I got up at 6 a.m. and I was like, oh God, the Easter Bunny needs coffee. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at CNN. I love it when they have an article called, an opinion piece. The problem with Trump right now. It's like, oh, right now as opposed to 5 minutes ago.
And is it really an opinion piece at this point? I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure if you threw a dart, you're pretty much right. I'm pretty sure you are. Everybody got your jelly beans and your peeps.
I couldn't find any peeps at the store.
I had a peep one time, and I just couldn't. It's really an opinion piece at this point. I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Noel. Noel, birthday's tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Jen.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
1 year away from the big 6-0. Still no gray, though, my natural hair color.
All this was white in here this morning. It's had like strings of white everywhere.
Oh, I love it.
Like,
I'm going to do all this to go white.
I guess I need some carts. Remember last week after our live stream, Lucy knocked my tea all over my cards. I had my card, all 78 spread out all over the place, drying out.
Oh, little Lucy.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, everybody that's giving me birthday wishes. I can't say everybody's name. It'll take forever.
Me too, Jules. I don't know where I got it from. Like, I got my hairline from my father, but he didn't grow gray until he was 50. Probably from my mother. She probably went gray early.
My family tends to gray early, like by the time you're 40, but for some reason I've got a different genetics. So I guess Mom and the UPS driver were friends.
Mama's baby, Papa's maybe. My hairline starts back here. That's where his start. It's real thin right there. His is the same way. It never falls out, but it never grows in either.
I wouldn't mind turning gray because I love gray hair. But it's pretty like Becca's. I think Becca's is so pretty. It just in the front like that is so striking.
The back is pretty white, and then like the sides are still brown. It's like, come on.
But you don't have the witchy gray to where it's like all stringy and witchy looking. It's
that drabby gray.
I don't know. It's probably like that in the back of my head. I just can't see it.
We can't either. Just keep facing forward. Unless you pull an Artie and turn around.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get started with Trump just tweeted that watching Fox News on the weekend is a waste of time. You should watch the OANN, which is another extremely conservative network.
The One America News Network.
There you go.
I wouldn't even say conservative, Johnny. I would say right-wing nut job.
That shit crazy.
Yeah.
Their reporters in those briefings give him softball questions. You know, when everybody else is like getting on his case about stuff, they lob him like off the subject weird softball questions.
So how's your golf game today?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So will they ever try to replace Fox News with the One America News Network?
So that's the question. Will he ever try to replace Fox News with OANN?
Yes. And not just him, just anyone in the future, since these seem to be a little more nicer to those in charge.
But I just heard Barrett say they should just call it Trump News. It's a propaganda station like Putin's.
Because they use that trigger word, America, and freedom and caucus and all this kind of mess.
One America. Yeah. We've been one America under Trump's presidency, the most divided we've ever been.
Ever. I get no. It starts with the Hierophant, which is this is the industries, these are the governments, these are the One America News networks, the things that don't change. Something that's really hard to change, sort of set in your way. It's met by support in the tower. The support will not be there. You will have some people watch it, but you won't have the Fox News type of support. Fox News was built by billionaires and gajillionaires. This is sort of like a grassroots type of thing. So it's not going to be the same there. And then around it is the King of Swords and the Fool. Once he's gone, because it involves him directly, and then him indirectly. So once he's gone, it's not really going to matter all that much. I mean, they'll have their supporters, of course, but it's not going to be like Fox News. So.
It's interesting because I've got there the emissary for the king on the bottom. So they're in cahoots with Trump. And here they are, the inside man. They've got the inside door with Trump. But that's why, like, they're people in the press, when they go into those briefings, they aren't even on the list. You know how they're rotating the list each week? They're not even on the list, and they still go in the room. Their challenge is to be fair and just, because they're not. Just to be blunt, they have a hidden agenda of gaslighting, and right now they're already losing because he's coming down in the polls. He's finally coming down the polls. So once Trump is out, what I'm getting is they get some swift legal action against them. I'm getting an offer they don't like. There's something new coming out that puts them in a defensive posture. So I don't know. Yes, sort of justice and truth. They're going to have to transition away, but they're going to have some legal battles. So it looks like they're going to get caught up by looking at Medusa too long. Medusa news.
So for mine, I got the fish, the storks, and the cross. It's ending in a negative. This is saying that they may have trouble upgrading the abundance, upgrading the money, upgrading the audience. Perhaps they're going to have a very difficult time doing that. There might be some sort of punishment as well. And the snake wanted to pop out as well. So this is why it's deceit, betrayal. So they're going to have a problem around perhaps false propaganda. But they can't move up.
We'll just change their name to One Medusa Network.
Just put another line on the end. It'll work. So on weird news, not weird news, Corona news, common news, I guess. Boris is out of the hospital. Has this changed him at all? He's been called Yeti Jr.
Has he found Jesus?
Has he found anything other than who he currently was or is? Has he changed at all? Standing on
Death's door.
Death's door will do that to you. Let's.
Should ask, would Trump change if he was on death's door?
Death would look out. Didn't I kill you already? What are you doing here? How's he changed?
Drove back across the river Styx to the other side. He ain't coming over here.
Well, there. He's a Gemini too, isn't he? Or a air sign.
All I'm getting is money, 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 money.
What you get?
What am I getting?
Yeah.
I just pulled 3 cards. Yes, no. I got the Garden, the Man, which is Boris Johnson, and the Crossroads. This is talking about a public man that he's going to have some choices and decisions coming up. It's not giving me a clear yes, no. So I asked for clarifiers. I got the clouds and the mountain. Serious, huge loads of confusion and huge obstacles and problems. These are both negative cards, but it's saying moving forward, he's going to have some serious choices to make. So
I've got on the bottom the family legacy, family inheritance card. So I thought, okay, maybe he's concerned about his family. He's got kids all over the place, right? So many kids, but here he is, the steady money, working together on dark money. He's over here as the King of Pentacles in the past. He's got contracts and agreements. I do have a Queen of Wands crowning him. That he seems concerned with, because also with the Lovers at the bottom, that's probably a significant other. I do get his fortunes are changing, so he's moving into action quickly, and juggling resources, and trying to manifest something. I don't change of perspective due to the crown bug. No, that's my crown bug card. It's all about money.
Okay, so, and for whatever reason, this has been coming up in every reading, the 8 of Cups. Every reading I do for coronavirus, this is what comes up. So I guess that's mine. But I get that somebody else is in his position, or somebody else is helping him while he recovers or something. Okay, so I'll show you what I got. So I get him in the middle with the King of Swords. He's crossed by another man here with the King of Wands. That's my helper king. So that's like the Pence to whoever he is. Now, I know when he was in the hospital, there was some guy. I don't know their politics, so I can't tell you what his position is, but he was filling in for Boris. But here's the health and then the staff of the hospital. This is who he accredits his recovery to. So this is not really soul changing because he didn't connect, something divine with his recovery. This is more along the lines of, I was well because they took care of me, type of thing. There's the Magician. So there's the power, but there's like the abandonment or walking away or something like that. I'll call this, you know what? Okay. I'll call this Corona instead of walking away. There is the Magician, Corona, and then the Page of Pentacles. So it's kind of like business as usual. It ends in the Empress. Something new does start, but not a change in perspective. I didn't get any Hangman or Crossroad with the what you call it, Two of Swords, nothing like that. No, he has not changed. but something around his job may change. So, I'll skip this one. I'm going to go down the list, so we might be all over the place, y'all.
Yeah, that's good.
What happens to the judge, what happens when the judge who is viewing the unredacted Mueller report gets that report, reads that report? What happens afterwards? Do heads roll? That was the question. Does nothing happen? Does Barr get in trouble? Does Trump get in trouble? Does what? The apocalypse start? What happens after he reads that report? Does it even matter? Thank you, Queen, for repeating the questions, too.
I get somehow that it's putting the courts in a higher standing. And I get that it leads to an ending on the bottom. But I've got, here's the judge revisiting something from the past, the nostalgia card. The challenge is America. So whatever is in it that he's seeing that we haven't seen, the challenge is how to get it out for all of America to see. And in particular, I feel like it shows who worked together on the dark money, who was in collaboration, who had contracts together, who had agreements together. And I feel like it puts the legal system on higher ground somehow. I asked, well, what about Trump? And with Trump, I get it burdens him, but he's still hanging on. But it shows something about another source of income, another business opportunity.
What'd you get, Beck?
I'm getting that it exposes the network of people in an organization. Moon, Garden, Sun, House, Fox. This is an organization that is well known and recognized that has been favorable to the family, and they've been cunning and manipulative. This is an opportunist con man here, a man that's fraudulent and manipulative. This person has been covering something up, and then there is a lot of vastness here with friendships that were opportunistic here. It illuminates the network. So I don't know what type of network this is. If this is with the garden here, it's followed by the clouds. So I don't know if this is like Trump org or the perhaps the NRA or the RNC. It's in a lot of trouble. And the network that was in that huge organization for the House. This could also be in reference to a family. But I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 men here that are key players, and quite possibly another person that's a friend or an ally or some sort of advisor. But there's something around a network of people and an organization that gets exposed. What are you getting, Johnny?
So I get there is a supportive money here with the Queen of Pentacles, and it is around Donald Trump, or at the very least, the person at the center of attention. Since I'm going to say, since it's the Mueller report, I'm going to call it Donald Trump, since he was sort of the focus of that investigation. The positive in it is there's possibly a with the Five of Swords, there might not be a way to still directly connect him, although so many roads lead to wrongdoing that you can connect him into something, but you can't like directly connect him into something criminal, which is probably why they weren't able to take what was in the report to the Senate removal trial. But here with the negative is the Eight of Swords. Someone is, though, however, possibly going down. With the Eight of Swords, that is trapped and powerless. So this, again, like I've been saying, something is coming that he can't stop. And this is probably what it was. Now, the outlook of others is the Nine of Wands, but his outlook is the Emperor. So he still thinks he's safe because he has his support system. But I said that his support system is starting to flake, and it is. So that's what leaves them all sort of weary in the end. Now, the thing that is going to be the disappointment is the Eight of Cups. So someone is going away, which sort of echoes that Eight of Swords. Someone's in trouble, someone's going away. Who? But somebody is. And it could possibly be somebody who's already in jail, maybe a Manafort or a Cohen. Something may come out to where it amplifies their situation, but I guess we shall see. But somebody's getting in trouble. And it's all because of money. Will Trump, go ahead.
I just thought of an additional question. Trump has fired so many people, right? Between what's the military guy that spoke in the impeachment hearing, and his brother, and
Colonel Vindman, and McCabe and Comey, and all these people he's fired. He just, the IGs, I can't tell you how many IGs he's fired. In the new regime, when we have a new president, will they rehire some of these people?
Let's see. They have a lot of hiring to do, because even right now, even with all the acting people, half of his government positions are still vacant.
Right. Everything's empty. So why not rehire some of these people, put them back in?
Not to mention the ambassadors.
Oh, yeah.
They have a lot of firings to do, too. Top of the list, bar.
There's your unemployment numbers are definitely going to go up there. So there'll be a lot more.
Bringing back some of the people that have been falsely poorly treated.
Or fired out of retaliation.
Yeah. Hit list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I can't say yes, but I can't say no, because no is not here. It's pointing closer to yes. I get the Hierophant and the Four Swords. So we do have some sort of government oversight or some government involvement for those who were laid off with the Four Swords. But I get the Hermit. So there's still some people, I guess, who aren't coming back. Maybe that's what it is. Because I get the Three of Cups too. So there are some people who are. Like, there's both. There's some who said, you know what, I'm good. I'm fine. I've moved on to something else. And then there's others who say, yeah.
Andrew McCabe was one day away from retirement. So,
yes.
He
probably they did him dirty so bad. They did him so dirty.
Yeah, I get some, like, they're going to hang on to some also that have been there for a while, that have integrity. And I get the honest and open queen, like they're going to look at everybody honestly and openly, and see who's truthful that they can work together with, who's steady, who has done steady career work. So those are the ones that they're going to be watching out for, that they're going to move back into positions, and in particular in the Justice Department. They're going to do some swift changes in the Justice Department. And then the others, it's a little unclear. Some of them are going to transition into different positions. So instead of bringing them back at what they were doing, they might come back as something else. So they might transition into a new position as opposed to coming back as, I was in that, I'm going to come back to that.
I'm getting the whip, the writer, the birds. This is the news that was delivered as retaliation here with the whip. Retaliation was delivered for talking, singing, using your voice to speak. So this is just saying that, they were retaliated against for blowing the whistle, for talking. I'm looking at about 7 to 12, 13, 14, about 14 people or so that may need to come forward, perhaps interview here with the birds. This would be like an interview. But I got this for confirmation, yes. They may need to re-interview for new stuff because they were retaliated against here.
Yes.
So, that's what I'm doing.
So Donald Trump wants the government open by May. He wanted it by Easter, and well, that didn't happen.
He thinks he can just bully it open, People are gonna be afraid to go back.
I just saw something on Twitter where he was saying that he has the absolute authority to demand all states reopen, and Lawrence Tribe, the constitutional lawyer, tweeted back at him like, no, you don't have that authority. You might want to go read the Constitution. Type of thing.
You can't force the state to do anything.
Yeah, you can't force the state to do anything. So
just 5 minutes, Donald. Take 5 minutes and read the dang Constitution. You should have read it before you took office.
Or stop tweeting and say, "Hey Siri, can I open the government?" Anything. I mean, damn, you ain't even got to read no more. Nope. She will tell it to you.
Yep, yeah. Get it on audiobook. Seriously.
Siri, is it in the Constitution? Can I do this? So wait, what was the question?
So, he's not going to, let's see first. We'll be fair. Will it open by May? And will the governors actually listen and open it? Or will they say, we can't open it, so let's stay in quarantine? So we'll start with will he open it?
Will Donald Trump open up the country by May?
Yes.
Artie's saying hello.
Hi, Artie.
Yeah, here's your buddy Becca. And Johnny.
Hello, Artie.
Yeah, turn around, show everybody your butt, knock my water over. All of the above.
So it's like, they're talking about Trump. They go moon the camera.
Ooh, I got a court card on the bottom. Might have some legal action on this.
Okay. And the first one was he going to open up the country by May, and the second one is, are the governors going to listen?
Yeah. There you go, Phyllis. Exactly. He didn't close anything, so why does he think he can open it?
So I'm getting that Nancy's going to make him read the Constitution or take it to court, like he's made her take everything to court. Here's Trump the fool, and here's Nancy, and she's going to make him seek answers through the courts, right? And I get that there's cooperation across the aisle with this, but this is patient, so it's like not yet. There's chaos going on, not yet. So it's going to be a while longer, I think, before everything opens up. But she's going to make him take it to court.
Good for you, Nancy. Good for you.
What you get?
So I asked if he was going to open up the country by May. I got the coffin, which is behind him, the man, and the garden. This is him wanting to open up the country, having it open, public, people gathering, congregations, parties, large groups of people. No. And then I asked if the governors would listen to him. I got the mice, the cross, and the stars. There's still a significant illness here that is spreading. It's metastasizing. The illness is causing a lot of pain and suffering here. There's painful hope. No, they don't listen to him.
That coffin garden doesn't happen to be a ticket to the garden, does it?
I wish it was a ticket to the park.
So I get that there is a desire to open it, of course. There's My America, and then he's found some people to help him spread his message. My Helper King with the King of Wands there, and the World, and the Lover's card. Like, he wants it back open. He's found somebody to help him with his message. But it's not going to, no.
Fox News and OAN News.
Yeah.
And then here with the Two of Cups and the Star, there's still health concerns with their citizenry. So that's where you get the backlash with the Five of Wands. So they're not going to listen, and you're not going to do it. So can't have everything you want, little boy. So after November, when Joe Biden becomes president, who will be the leader of the GOP? Let's see if we can get like a characteristic or something, since we don't have like names on the cards. Like, will they have a old leader like a McConnell will still be there, or a Paul Ryan will crawl out of the dirt, or something like that? Or will they have a brand new one? Or let's see.
So who will be the new leader of the GOP after the new administration?
The devil flew out.
Great, so they're still corrupt.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, well done.
No.
I think I need a shot after that.
So
Wow.
who will be the new GOP leader after the new administration?
Yes, because if all else fails, right, or if all else goes right, we'll say it this way. If Biden is in, that means more than likely the Senate is also blue. So McConnell is not the majority leader, and Donald Trump is gone.
I keep seeing Elizabeth Warren as head of the Senate.
She would be good too.
I mean, they've had a GOP majority in the Senate, what, 10 years now? Has it been 10 years?
For McConnell,
Uh-huh.
yeah, he's in a race with. I always mess up her name, so I won't try. It's either Amy or something.
No, what I'm saying is they've had Senate majority since the third year of Obama's presidency.
Oh yeah.
Up until now, and look at what they've done. They've destroyed everything. Everything.
Well, it's interesting. I got all these pages. It's here's McConnell in the past, the emperor, right? Or if you want to look at it as the head of the RNC, what's that guy's name? Or is it a woman? I always think of it as McConnell, even though he's just over the Senate. But it's going to be someone surprising. And with all these pages, I'm feeling it's someone much younger than McConnell. It's going to be someone much younger. Someone who is more grounded. Pentacles are about earthly energy. Cups are about someone probably much more compassionate. And swords, someone who's probably a lawyer, but a younger lawyer. Someone who works together with others. And it's someone who's reluctant to take it on. Someone who's not quite wanting to accept it because he sees all the betrayal and all the secrets are coming out. He's a little bit reluctant, but I do see him, and I feel like it's a male. I do feel a male comes in that kind of starts them on the journey of getting to higher ground, rebuilding the party. I didn't get any characteristics too much, just a little more emotionally, compassionate. That wouldn't take much over Mitch McConnell.
No, it would not. I think the actual devil was a little more compassionate.
Yeah. That would be an improvement. Get the devil in there over Mitch McConnell.
He tempted Adam and Eve, but at least he wanted you to eat something.
You had a choice. You got the vote on whether you were going to eat it or not.
At least he fed you. My goodness.
Instead of burying everything on his death, you got to vote on if you were going to eat it.
What'd you get back?
Weird. I have the tree, the woman, the garden, the stars, and the clover. This is a longstanding woman in the public or in the party. She's some sort of a celebrity, and she's a little bit lucky here. But she's got celebrity status. Down here, I have the mountain, the house, the heart, the man, and the key. A huge obstacle or a big problem, and then something in the family, love for a man that's very important. This man is a celebrity. This woman is in the home, or she's has family values here, and it's someone that the party's going to love. But it's the woman here, she's a public celebrity. This man's a celebrity. And he's the one that has the key here.
I
don't know who it is.
I get someone who broke with rank with the tower. They are a little more self-disciplined. They have a lot of money and can be seen as by some to be more compassionate, giving those their fair share. I would gravitate towards a Romney, since we were having that conversation that Obamacare is the same as Romney care, pretty much. But there's somebody who's compassionate here. A gigantic change that they did, like a Romney or an Amash or something, breaking with rank, caused a lot of stress. A huge change that they did going against the party. So this might be a Romney.
Yeah.
Sort of the white knight in shining armor. But we'll see.
It's still somebody that has corporate connections, but they're going to transition the message of the party. So, I do get McConnell is out. He leaves. He's gone. Bye-bye.
Yep. Don't let the door hit you.
Hit the road, Jack.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, honey.
Well, please do, so I can laugh. Will the second stimulus package benefit citizens or corporations?
Ooh, the steady money just fell out.
Thank you, Whimsy. It's probably companies, because I think they were supposed to be passing another small business one. Because naturally, this first one, 500 billion, went to corporations, 300 billion went to small businesses, which is odd. That should have been the other way around, or not at all for corporations, but we'll see.
And it's funny to me. They're all free market, free market, free market. If we're constantly bailing out corporations, that ain't free market. That's not free market. That's socialism for the big corporations is what that is.
Corporate welfare. If you can afford to give somebody a $3 million bonus.
Oh, coyote!
Bonus.
Running around. Sorry, guys. I'm knocking a coyote out the window.
There's one in your yard?
No, it's down the hill.
Oh.
He's running across somebody's yard right now.
That's why I had to get up early to play Easter Bunny this morning, because we have coyotes and raccoons and stuff. I was afraid if I put the eggs out last night, they'd be gone.
They'd be gone.
I had candy inside of them.
Yeah.
Sugar buzz raccoon.
So the question is, will the stimulus package help ordinary citizens, the second stimulus package?
I believe it was aimed at companies, but that was a request we got. Thank you, panel.
I'm laughing. Lucian was talking about Artie would handle something better. I love it when they talk about my cats can handle something better than this regime. Artie and Lucy for president.
Much cuter and much nicer, too.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm going to go with companies. Like there'll be something for, okay, to help small businesses will be to help citizenry because they are the ones who are most affected by it. I know there is a couple of things in California. The governor, what's his name, Newsom, put into place to where if you're paying your employees, then you get some sort of, thank you, Brenda, you get some sort of incentive, basically. But here with the lovers, like this in particular one, I think was like predestined to be for small businesses. And there is some money, however, that is being allocated for places unknown because there is lack of oversight. It might be delayed again. There is Nancy and then the Four of Swords. She held up the last one because they were putting in sneaky stuff. So this is going to be the same here because you know who is involved. But I'm going to go more company than people.
I am too. I got, they're working hard on it, and but the challenge is the White House, what the White House wants. So they're supporting what the White House wants here, and they've got their hidden agendas. Got judgment is going to come down on them for this, for the way they're going to do this. But here's the big corporations for the security of the Republican Party. This is a bullying thing. That the bully card was on the bottom. This is a dishonorable bullying thing. They're looking out for their big money guys. They're big donors.
I got the book, The House, the Mice, something that is not known. It's secret. Families here in the center that are losing here. They take away from families. This is a theft from families, worried families, and then there's a theft in the families. But there's something here that's not known in that stimulus package, or they're hiding something because they take away from families at the end of it. So.
Yeah. So will Trump let the USPS collapse? The post office asked for $75 billion. The House was pushing for at least 25, and they got 10. So they whittled from 75 to 10. And Donald Trump says that he is not going to try to bail out the post office. So will he let it collapse? And what is his vendetta against the post office?
Can you imagine? Because there's still a lot of people that they don't do online banking and stuff. They still write checks to pay their mortgage or their rent or whatever, their utility bills. Can you imagine if there's no postal service?
And who's going to do it?
There's a lot of people that don't have computers.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the second question, Johnny? What's
his personal vendetta against the post office? Because everybody's on TV. Nancy and Ilhan Omar was on today saying he needs to act. But they have no money. Or not the money they need. What you guys get?
I don't know yet. Yeah, I get he's stuck, trapped, with the U.S. Postal Service. They're having some anxiety here. Things are out of balance. And I'm getting that patience, waiting, tempering, maybe waiting to act. But then I get this, like I was asking, like, what's his beef about it? It comes from the Republican Party. It's a bullying thing. It has to do with, I feel like travel costs, like the cost of running it, because they're kind of like a travel company. They're driving around door to door, right? Mailbox to mailbox, and they're watching the money of it. I'm not getting what the beef is coming from. The White House like betrays them, so the White House, like he doesn't like them, but I do get they're going to hang on. They're going to be scarce, bare bones, like not a lot of staff and stuff, but they're going to hang on. But I don't get what the beef is. What are y'all getting on that?
Where'd you get that?
So I asked if he's going to let them fail. I got the anchor, the House, the crossroads. The House is going to have to stick to their guns and bring forward a choice and a decision here. It's ending here in a neutral. All of the anchor is positive, but these are two neutrals. So the House is going to have to stick to their guns and do something and come up with a choice or an alternative. For his beef, I got the sun, the anchor, the heart, the fox, the mountain. It's almost like he's wanting to secure his success and adoration and manipulate and pressure them. I don't know why.
He somehow thinks his Trump supporters want him to let it fail.
I'm seeing manipulation and pressure.
What's
How are you going to get your mail? Really?
What are you getting, Johnny?
Will he let them fail? He doesn't have a choice. They won't. I mean, he can take away money or not give them all the money they want, but they won't collapse completely. With the 9 of Pentacles is crossed by the 10 of Wands. The money will be burdened, but they will still be there. So there's that. But his beef, there's something to do with material support as well. I don't know exactly what it is his administration or in his little brain is trying to do. But here with the Page of Pentacles has to do with money, and then there's the Devil. Money or resource. So I'm not sure what he's trying to keep back.
I think he sees them as such a burden, but I'm kind of getting that he's got another source of, like, he wants to make money off of it. So he's got a business guy that wants to make money off it. So they're going to privatize it. They're going to try and make money off of it.
Because there is the money here with the 5 of Pentacles, but it's like there's the lack of money. Like he can let you starve because he doesn't really care. And there is manipulation with the Magician. So it's something to do with something material that he wants or that he wants to control. He wants to control it, basically.
It's kind of like Betsy DeVos in the charter schools, no free public schools. One of his friends wants to make money off of it, wants to do something where they can charge exorbitant fees for delivering your mail.
Because that was his solution. He said, just charge more. And I'm like, okay, even if you charge $45 for one stamp, you still need people to buy that in particular service. There's a lot of people who don't buy anything from the post office. They just use the post office. So you still need anyway. Such a stupid. I can't. So will the government protect the environment? Will the new government protect the environment? Will they put the EPA back in the position it was when Obama was there, when the car company said that we are adhering to the new regulations to where we have to create cars that get such and such miles per gallon. And then that was rolled back with Trump. A lot of things in the EPA were rolled back with Trump. So will Joe Biden correct that? will the new administration correct environmental mistakes? Atrocities, not mistakes.
Yeah, what's interesting too is the green industry, solar, wind, all those kind of things, is one of the fastest growing industries in our country. So you want to put some people back to work quick, get those green industries going again.
He just rolled back everything for the sake of undoing everything. I mean, he's rolled back stuff that makes no sense at all. Just like the pork industry. He deregulated that so bad that I wouldn't dream about buying bacon ever again in my life.
Now you don't have to list what's in it, and you don't have to list where it's from, and you don't have to why is those things, first of all, why is it bad that you need to list that? And then why would that be something you roll back?
And not even that, Johnny, the inspections for the food. The people that are inspecting the food before it gets delivered to the grocery store. He chopped it down to like 2 inspectors. And the inspectors aren't even allowed to look at what's on the conveyor belt. They have to be like 20 feet away.
Yeah. So I get new messages, new information coming through, new starts with it. So bringing things back into balance, and then making changes to it, bringing forward new. So they're going to have a return to some of the old standard, but there's going to be newness coming in after that. Everything's going to be much more transparent. Also, they're putting an end to secrets. So everything with the hidden agendas with Trump, that's all bye-bye. Everything's going to be much more transparent.
What'd you get, Becca?
I got the writer, the heart, and the house. There's going to be news coming in with the new administration that people are going to love. This is also caring for your home. If we think about it, Mother Earth is our home. It's the only habitat we have. So there's news coming in about the love of our home, the love of family, the love of our residents here, and caring for the residents. So yes.
Yeah, there's messages with the Page of Wands that bring balance with the Justice card. And it will be a hard road because of where we are now with the 9 of Swords and 7 of Wands. It'll be a hard road. I'll just say that. It's not going on a rant about that. So the Mercers have stopped, well, at least Rebecca Mercer has stopped supporting Donald Trump. Will the Koch brother, the remaining one, will he pull his support? And others like him. I'll focus on him because that was the request.
So will the Koch brother and others like him pull back support on 45?
Thank you, Debbie.
I got the Hangman on the bottom, change of perceptions.
Somebody will. I don't know if it's specifically the Koch brother.
Yeah, because there's something about the business as usual working together still with the Republicans. So they're holding on to the Republicans, but somebody's got a new plan to get off the ground. They want to see balance between the Republican Party and Trump, because Trump's out there doing his own little thing.
Costing them money.
Yeah. Ooh, my cards are sticking together.
Thank you, JR. What'd you get, Becca?
I got the The garden, the house, the whip. Public or an organization, a family, and then there's the fight or backlash here. I asked about the Koch brother, the one that's left, and others like him. There's one family in particular that may fight here, or they might be giving out backlash towards the party. So this family here, whoever that family is. So I don't know if that's that family, like in that movie on, what was it? Was it Netflix, Jen?
Yeah, the family.
That whole organization of evangelicals. If that's what that was in reference to, because it's a large organization of family and they fight. So no, that family doesn't back off. Yeah, I've been getting the garden a lot, quite a bit.
I get the money here. It does end in a loss, but I don't get a specific person. This is more like just people in general here with the Star card and the Nine of Wands with the Ace of Swords. So the more things don't go their way, the more they tend to want to pull back support, because their support is directly tied to their interest. So they're not giving you money just out of the goodness of their heart. You're supposed to return on their investment. And the more you don't do that, the more they pull back. They don't really care that he's nuts. So don't let Rebecca Mercer think or lead you to believe that she pulled back because he's crazy. She's not getting what she wants, therefore she has to pull back her support.
Or when she saw the poop hitting the fan with everybody getting arrested, she pulled back.
Yeah, now she ran for the hills. Will we hear from Robert Mueller again? Now that his unredacted report
So we'll hear from Robert.
is out there, will we hear from him again? That poor man. He's like, will y'all just leave me alone? I did my job. Let me go away.
He gets an offer to come speak somewhere.
Oh, Lord.
I think so. It's got, patience. It's going to be after everything collapses on Trump. He's going to be brought in to talk about the betrayal and who all Trump worked with, and to clarify some things that they're confused about. So, yeah, he gets an opportunity to come in. So maybe not like, like an impeachment hearing or anything like that. Maybe it's talking to the Ways and Means Committee, or, one of the committees in the House or something. Somebody needs some clarifying. It's in a smaller way. It's in a much smaller way.
I get that there is something about, well, I guess this is his report. Here, there's something about something written, something tangible here. And his in particular work, there is a detail in it with the Three of Wands. There's a detail in it that is not completely clear, or is not, it needs some more, it needs some more light shine on it, or something, the Ace of Swords, something, it needs to be sussed out a little bit more. But this is not a public thing. This doesn't have to be in front of everybody. So, but the Fortune's Wheel, the Wheel of Fortune, and of course, missing this card, the King of Wands, there's your Robert Mueller. He does have some questioning that he's going to have to go through. But like I said, this is not necessarily in front of everybody, but he will be talked to again, and we may hear reports about what he said.
So I got the lilies, the fish, and the whip. It's going to be a while with the lilies. This quite possibly around the winter or a few months. And it has to do with money laundering with the fish and the whip. That's what he knew, but that's down the road a little bit. So.
Thank you, Astrid. So, is there a connection? Now, Jeffrey Epstein donated $300,000, over $300,000, to the University of Ohio. Is there any connection between him and Jim Jordan? Birds of a feather, after all. Oh my, this is play over and over again.
And of course, I have the death card on the bottom. Nothing like, yes, we're asking about Mr. Epps.
That's a shame.
I'm going to say yes. Jim Jordan was burdened, with everything that was going on in Ohio. The challenge is he was dissatisfied with what was going on. I get that he was seeking help, asking questions to Mr. Epps because he was under major duress and anxiety, and that they had an agreement that they came to. It's about choice. Another 2 card, it's about choice decisions, making a decision, kind of being at a stalemate a little bit, but making a decision. And Epstein offered him help. They kept it hidden. They talked. They talked a lot.
I got the dog, the clouds, the ship. There was something around this friendship that was clouded over, confusing, and trouble, and it had to do with going far away overseas. Something got shaded over and covered up in regards to that friendship here with the dog. So, I don't know. And then I did clarifiers. I'm so sorry, Johnny.
No, go ahead.
Writer, house, and what is this? Cross. Visiting a house, and then there's guilty here. So there's that.
Thank you, Rosemary.
What did you get, John?
I get that overseas. That was the first card I get with the 2 of Wands. There is, I believe, I'll say this, not for entertainment purposes, because I mean this. I believe there is personal money that was given between the 2. I get the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles is like invested money. Oh, thank you, Anne. I didn't say that earlier. I just seen your name again. But there is invested money, and there's a plan here, some sort of sneaky trickery. I'm not sure if it's like around kids or nothing like that, but they know each other personally, and I think he gave him some money of some sort because here is like the truth around the support. So do they know each other personally, or are they connected? Yes. Ugh, I swear. Okay.
It was pretty big money too, steady money too. So you may have given him money on multiple times. He had actions taken against him here. I was just pulling some additional cards. He was embattled, so he gave him steady money. So probably legal money. But they're also they're in bed together. They're like-minded. So
what would he be getting in return?
Well, they're like-minded. They're like-minded. And I'm not going to say more.
I mean, what would Epstein? Well,
okay, they're like-minded. If you want to go that road.
And isn't it interesting too that nobody really knows where Epps' money came from? Like, he was a hedge fund manager, but he really didn't have that many accounts, so nobody knows where all that money came from. So he was an intermediary for organized crime or something,
He made money in the Iran-Contra affair.
Nobody knows.
Well, let me ask. Where does his money come from?
Where did Epps' money come from?
His original money before his ring money.
I'm gonna ask the Endora this one. Was he just selling access?
Gifts. Yeah. Gifts.
He's selling access, if you ask me. I get the talisman. This is something physical. So this would be your gifts. This is that's where his initial money would come from other people because he was giving out something. And my very next card is the Maiden. This would be young women, basically. And then it looks like something else here with the Harlequin. So it's not, if you looked at it from the outside, it wouldn't look like this. But that's what it is. Sneaky, underhanded, dirty money.
He had gifts, and he, in return, he gave emotional things and brought them into the family, so to speak. Okay, into the little ring, into the family. But he had steady money also coming in from the side that came in pretty fast too. So, and that was from overseas dealings. So, his trade in women was part of it, but there's other money where it was like bribes and quid pro quo. It's like, I'll do this for you, you do this for me, money coming in. That'd be Iran-Contra, sneaky dealings.
I'm seeing I got the tree, the crossroads, the man, which is Epps, the fox in the house. There's several ways here with the tree, several different routes for a tree. So I don't know if this is the Bank of Cyprus. I don't know if this is Turkey or Lebanon or what, but there's a tree here and there's multiples of them. Places represented by a tree. Him, and then he was manipulating and hiding it with the family here. So.
Yeah. The whole family.
So the World Mental Health Coalition is calling for the calling for government to use the 25th Amendment because Donald Trump is mentally ill.
Criminally negligent and causing deaths. Purely for entertainment purposes only, YouTube, if you want to call that entertainment.
So will they? These are doctors saying from the World Mental Health Coalition that your president has a mental illness. He should be removed.
He's going to probably take money away from them like he's talking about with the WHO next.
They're calling for him to resign, which he's not going to do. And they're calling for his cabinet to pull the 25th on him because he's actually causing, I think when I checked this morning, it was 20,000 that we're at now. So he's causing all that.
Yep. So here's the World Mental Health Institute, standing on higher ground and looking down. The challenge are the people that are suffering here, and the treachery and the lack of transparency and everything. But Trump and the White House, he's secure. He's in his own little world. He's secure. I do have here in the near future, there's going to be a messenger, someone talking about the money that was made from this. So I think we're going to have a leaker and who worked together on this new source of income that capitalize off the people that are sick. So it looks like we're going to have a leaker that's going to cause more problems than somebody declaring the 25th.
Yeah, what you get back?
So I used one deck and asked if the cabinet would listen to the World Mental Health Coalition. There's a woman popping up here for some reason. I don't know if this is that mental health doctor from Harvard or if there's a woman in particular with the mental health coalition. There's the cabinet, and it's ending here with the heart. This is a positive. So I asked this deck if the cabinet would try to do the 25th. There's something in secret that's being done here in private about this manipulative fraudster that's an opportunist. But there's something here that's going on in private here that's secret around a fraudulent opportunist. So DJT. Jesus.
It's almost as if they're afraid to say that someone from their own party has lost his mind. So they're going to have somebody whistle blow on something that happened with money and funds or something, like they're going to use that.
Reagan was mental too, but I mean, Reagan didn't go around like, hey, we're going to do great if we only lose 200,000 people. You know what I mean? Reagan was nuts too, but he wasn't this this guy's a criminal, Add murder to the list of criminalities now. Seriously.
I get on the surface, he's fine. They're not going to try to kick him out and all this. But within the coalition, within the group that he has, there are leakers and spies and all that type of stuff. These are thoughts. And then this card, the wind is blowing quite heavily. And so this lets you know that it is coming out. Someone is doing some inside talking. They do want him to move along, but they're paused right now because of this. You can't admit your guy is wrong because that.
They can't admit he's mental, because then it makes the party seem
his clarity is called this. This is the card that's in between the clarity and the White House. It's called into question. His perspective is called into question. Like all of this is called into question, but they have a hard time saying that he needs to go because then it looks bad for future presidents. Like this is the guy you picked. But I guess he's fine for now, but it still looks like that is still a possibility though.
The entire GOP could have jettisoned him when they had the chance, and they rushed to clear him. And here we are with 20-something thousand lawsuits that could have been prevented. It's on them. It's on them.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, add it to the list of criminalities, Johnny, at this point.
So Ron Johnson is a senator who is pushing, I think a senator, one of the two, senator, Congress, whatever. He is in Congress. He is pushing for Donald Trump to push hydroxychloroquine. He is pushing for him to do an executive order to where that needs to be something that they're giving coronavirus patients. The governors individually are sort of limiting the access to hydroxychloroquine because it's not been tested to actually work. Like it's not proven that this is the solution. But they want him to go and push it and do executive orders telling the governors to stop limiting the use of hydroxychloroquine because they have an investment in it. And so will he try to do an executive order forcing the use of hydroxychloroquine?
Because there's some people they know that it will have horrible effects on, but
And they still don't care. Like
they
that's
don't care. It's
Even if the executive orders that, that's going to blow up in his face.
mhm.
Wilbur Ross, Trump, and their billionaire donors are all invested in these pharmaceutical companies that make it.
Yep, but that still doesn't make him a doctor, and that drug hasn't been FDA approved for what he's doing. So,
And that's what they keep saying to him and to the administration. But
they don't care. A buck is a buck, man. So what if the bodies pile up?
let's see.
Kind of interesting. I'm getting like they move forward with some sort of action on it, but it's not accepted. And then I get there's a change because they see like how it works is still hidden. Like they don't know how it's working on some people and how it's not working on some people. And I get that there's another medication that's offered up. Besides that, and that they kind of leave it up to the doctor to use their best judgment with each patient because each patient is different. Some patients, their body will reject it, and some their body will fight it, and it doesn't help. And then some, like, yeah, it'll get things back to normal.
I get he's bound by some sort of law or rule or constitution or something here with like swift justice with this card. He's bound by it. There's something, even if he were to issue this order, he still cannot force anybody to do anything. He's bound by something here because there's also a huge loss against his administration here with the Three of Wands. Like, his plan does not reach its potential. And his warning is overseas. So this he is involved in marketing drugs to people who have no choice, or they have a choice, but they're trying to create something that they say you need to have in order to survive, but they're the ones who manufacture it. So that's his problem. That's the word of warning. This is something you need to stay away from if you choose to keep your job. You are too heavily involved in this medication, in this medicine, for it to be okay once everybody finds out.
He is the marketing guru. That's all he knows how to do. Market his own brands, market his drug, market.
What you get, Becky?
So I got the garden, the clover, the birds. They're looking for really, like the Senate or people in a large body that are holding meetings. They're looking for a very quick win with the clover there. It's a quick win for somebody. However, there's going to be somebody that's going to blow the whistle here with the birds. At the end of the day, somebody may come out and say something about some shady stuff that was going on within an organization. Because you have the birds here, somebody might talk. But it's just, they're looking for like a quick win here. So
let's jump to your question, Jen, about the Arbidol.
Yeah, that's a Russian medication that's antiviral. I don't know what my question is. Is Trump
he taking it?
Is Trump taking it, and is he working with Putin on maybe bringing Arbidol here? He got an investment in Arbidol too. There's my Russia card on the bottom. Yeah, I said 2 weeks ago, I think it was in a video, in a live stream, that he and Putin want to be the big winners of, oh, we found the cure, you know. So they're gonna like keep pushing their own drugs. I'm getting Trump's like taking it like off and on, like he's not taking it consistently. I have the full here with it. He's not taking it regularly if he's taking it, and it's, you know, as far as it treating the people who are sick with it, it's unclear. There's some that that it looks like they're planning on using it with. There's some that it would work on, but there's others it's unclear if it would work. So again, this virus is really unique in how each person's very unique in how they respond to different things. I'm gonna see if he's invested in it.
That's what I'm looking at now. What'd you get back?
I'm getting that Arbidol or whatever is difficult. Here's the prescription here, and they're talking and negotiating about it, or there's talk and gossip around this drug, alternative medicine. You guys are asking if he's invested in it?
Thank you, Janine. Forgotten country indeed. So what I get there is resources. Your man of resource king. I didn't get an answer whether he was taking it or not. What the card just showed me is that it's coming here. Like that drug is coming here, if it's not here already. Because I get the moon and the 7 of cups, which both of them could mean like hazy thinking, confusion, unclear answers, that sort of thing. So I clarified them both. I clarified the 7 of cups with the 2 of cups. So there's an agreement between the two countries about selling this garbage. Because here with the moon, I get the Page of Pentacles. So this is coming here. Like this medicine with the Knight of Wands. It's the travel card.
I get the Knight of Pentacles, steady money.
It's coming here, and I got the 7 of Pentacles, so it's on the way here. I asked if he's invested in it. I get 3 of Cups right, or 3 of Pentacles right away, and then I get the Hangman, and then the Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Pentacles, and then the 10 of Cups. So that's like 5 yeses in a row, basically. So they're invested in the hydroxychloroquine and the arbitol. They're invested in any medicine that they could possibly push to a hospital for people to take.
Yep.
What y'all get?
I'm getting he's burdened somehow, though, with the transporting it here. It's not easy. So I don't know if the sanctions, that are on Russia are affecting it. There's a burden on getting it here. The devil and something sneaky going on.
Okay.
I feel like it's like manipulating, trying to get around sanctions, trying to get around something, laws or whatever it is.
So I asked if he was invested. I got the dog, the tower, the site. There's a friend of his that's in an institution or a corporation, but they've been cut off here. Whoever this person is, I don't know if this is Kushner and his brother, but there's an advisor here that's part of an institution that's been cut out some way.
That would explain that tower I was getting. Like they're having a problem getting it here. They're cut off.
It's not Manafort, is it?
Manafort.
Because he was sent to be an advisor to Donald Trump.
Yeah, because I got dog tower. That could be a friend that is institutionalized, a friend in a corporation, a friend in government. But that person's been cut off. Or that corporation has been cut off.
Well, let's see if we'll go back down the list. So they're doing ads now on the Trump side. Thank you, Suzanne. Attacking Joe Biden, calling him an agent of China, and other people as well. Whoever you have ever been seen besides him taking a picture with President Xi, you are now an agent of China. And this is basically a racist attack because they want to say that China's responsible, or that this virus is the Chinese virus. So they're calling him an agent of China to sort of stoke fears, the way they always do. So will this continue?
Did they scrub the internet of all the pictures with Ivanka and just curious.
What's the question?
So will this sort of attack continue? Because what he did with the whole Chinese virus thing is people around him were telling him stop saying that because it's racist and inflammatory. So will they stop with this Joe Biden is a Chinese agent attack, or will they continue because it might work? because their Hunter Biden stuff is not really, I guess, tested yet, since Lindsey Graham called it propaganda. So they need something. And maybe they don't run with the allegations, the sexual allegations, because Trump has got like 55 of those.
Yeah, it's like he sees Biden as, beloved, and he's trying to change that, and he's coming at it from a business perspective. So, like how he would make a brand. And this, I've got the 4 ones on the bottom. I feel like this is going to be like when he gets back to rallies, this is going to be a rally call. This is going to be something he's screaming at his rallies. It's his way of trying to hang on. He's just losing so much now because so many people are sick. He's going to tweet it. He's going to tweet it a lot. He's going to communicate it a lot, now because he can't get to the rallies.
Meanwhile, anything and everything they've ever sold was made in China.
Mm-hmm.
All the business that they wish they could do, China.
Hell, you look at one of those stupid red hats; those are made in China.
Mm-hmm. That's
so dumb.
America first. Let's make our hats in China. Oh Lord. Anyway,
America first, except if you need a ventilator.
So I got the scythe, or the tree, the scythe, and the lilies. This would be Biden right here. No, it doesn't stick. Whatever's going on with this health thing doesn't stick. It's cut off here with the scythe. However, he may find a way to attack Biden on an age-related issue. Something that comes when you're with age. So they might change it to that later on.
He's gonna of course continue an attack of some sort, but here with my 8 of Cups as my new Corona card and the star, he's gonna attach it to health. And so that's very interesting. Since Trump is the most healthiest president we've ever had.
Healthiest.
I guess that makes sense.
He's an Olympian triathlete. You know that, Johnny.
Yeah. He's healthy. I'm Heather Locklear. He's healthy.
Yeah, that orange menace.
So let's look and see, will the cruise ship industry, I don't want to say will they go down because that's kind of vague.
Recover.
Let's ask will they recover? Because what is that? Carnival Cruise. My brother was reading an article the other day about how they want to file for bankruptcy, but they can't because they don't actually pay any taxes because they're stationed in Panama to avoid taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But now they can't get bailout money either because they're not here.
But they employ a lot of people from here, though, right?
Yeah. But they can't get bailout money since their home country is Panama.
I just love that, though. I love it. All these sneaky ways you went around to not pay taxes. Guess what? Now you need the bailout and you didn't pay taxes. Oh, I love it.
Oh, now you need some of that good old socialism, don't you?
Mm-hmm. God, I love instant karma.
Oh, I always say karma finds everyone. Sometimes it's nice enough to let you watch.
I'm loving it. Thank you, karma.
I get that they're secure. They've got money coming from somewhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I get, they've, right now, like they're working it out, working out the details. There's a little anxiety, but they've got a source of income from somewhere else in the world that gets offered up. And I say out in the world because I have the world card here. So, it's someone who invests in them. and they're secure. So I don't get they're going away.
What'd you get back?
I got the letter, the ship, which is the cruise line industry, the snake. They're heading into some problems here. There might be something in paperwork. I don't know if this would be their taxes, if this would be like their liens, list of assets for the ships here, stuff that they own, but they're false here. There's false records around ships. So they're going to be rolling into some trouble ahead because they've lied.
They've lied on their probably bank loans and stuff.
Yeah, there's something with paperwork here.
I get, there's a saying, crying broke with a loaf of bread under your arm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I get. Because I get the moon and the lovers. Like there is support. Like they're not destitute, they're not broke, they're not any of that. I don't believe. They're not generating new income, sure, but they got some money. The moon here and the lovers. They're getting support from elsewhere. This is just not something they're going to tell us. But there is the 10 of cups and the 4 of swords. They have enough money to operate. They're just not, like I said, generating any new money because of what's going on. But it does end here with the 3 of swords. So there is a little hardship. There is reported hardship. It's right next to the moon. It's reported hardship. So they're going to say, like I said, we're broke with the loaf of bread under your arm. So they're fine. They're all right. This is not a paycheck to paycheck company. They probably got more money than God and Jesus. So this is not something we need to worry about. But they will cry broke.
And they have assets. Sell off their assets.
Yeah.
There you go.
So in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, there's another couple of other countries, one of them I couldn't pronounce, so I wouldn't dare try. There has been a lot of sabotage of 5G towers. So will that come here? Will we ever see that in the States, people sabotaging the 5G towers?
Yeah, I love all these conspiracy theories out there, like 5G causes corona bug. You know, it's like, hello, if that's true, then these third world countries that don't even have 5G would not have the death rates they're having. So use your brain, people.
Yeah. Like Iran. How did you explain Iran? They don't even have 3G, you know? Yeah.
And if it did, then everybody should have it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize how many cell towers are in your neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Might not be 5G, but you're surrounded by this stuff.
I'm looking at one right now. It should be dead. It should be dead.
Like when you drive down the street and your call doesn't instantly drop, here's why. Because you go down the street, your phone is on this tower. And it gets out of range, it shoots to the other tower. And that's how you can keep going down the street, having the same phone call without it dropping every 10 seconds.
Yeah, because those wavelengths are really, 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 really short. They don't travel very far. They're radio waves. So.
And I'm not saying 5G is safe. I'm saying it does not cause coronavirus. Okay. So what I'm saying now is, will there be sabotage here in the States?
Will there be sabotage here in the States?
You know, I get on the bottom here, you know, the people who are stuck in their own mind, playing the loop over and over in the head. Oh, 5G is evil, it's dark, it's blah, blah, blah. I get they're already making changes now, and they're seeking, you know, they're asking questions, they're seeking advice, and the businessmen are making proposals for work to defend their towers. So it feels to me like they're actually putting quite a bit of money into building in protection around it here in America. I got my America card. Did I freeze up?
No.
Okay. Y'all were looking at me. I was like, okay.
There's a lot of lies here. multiple lies, lots of crap hitting the fan in regards to narratives. But at the end of the day, there might be multiple upgrades and changes here, perhaps to the towers themselves, simply because there's so much misinformation. This is lies being spread everywhere, and then stuff might need to be changed and upgraded here. So,
thank you, Katie, the energy worker. Thank you very much. I get the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Wands. There will be some action, but it won't be a problem. This is not a widespread thing. There might be some protests or some not protests as in traditional protests, but there might be some attempt sabotage and things like that. The Eight of Swords and the Four of Swords. Right now with the quarantine, there's not going to be a whole lot of this type of information or type of activity, though. So this is not something anybody got to worry about, like your neighborhood having some sort of vigilante running through it. With the Strength card, listen, you couldn't control 3G, 2G, 1G. You couldn't control TDSM, GSM. They've had all that stuff and you've never even thought about it. You can't control this one either. So all I can tell you is if you are afraid of 5G, do you some research in multiple places, okay? The internet does not tell you when you are wrong. They just connect you with other people who think like you, that's all. Do research in multiple places, see if you can get the information from at least 6 places. And maybe go to a couple of scientific things and then a couple of little independent things to see if it matches up. Yep. And if you are still afraid, go to the sticks. Go move out in the bayou somewhere. Go move somewhere where there is no 5G.
But don't take your smart TV though, because those can be hacked. No, and the CIA and the NSA can spy with you with your smart TVs too. So
that's right. Go live off grid somewhere in the sticks.
Don't take your smartphone. Don't take your smart TV. Just take your smart self and move out.
Move away.
You need to be, because you don't need that stuff. I mean, you don't really need. You need a telephone for emergencies, but you don't need all that other
landline. Get a landline.
Yeah.
Get a landline.
So if you are afraid of it, and like I said, I'm not saying it's safe. I'm just saying it doesn't cause corona. So if you are afraid of it, then take you some steps. Find you some information. Don't just go on YouTube to find the video that echoes what you just said.
Find some real scientific information, not the crap propaganda out there that's spinning it.
From multiple places. Do not go from one place and say, yes, this is all I needed to hear. My opinion shouted back at me, and now I believe it. Now that's all I'm ever going to believe, and everything is wrong. So anyway, and don't you have nothing in your house that emits anything? No routers, no microwaves, no cell phones, no radioactive children, none of that.
No smart TVs, nothing.
And by the way, take the Bluetooth out of your car and
your ear. So the DOG says to expect action this week on they're calling it a religious ban, but it's quarantine is what it's been called up until now. So they're saying that you are stopping people from going to church, and well, no, let me rephrase, because they didn't call it church. They said religious organizations are being targeted unfairly. So he said expect action. So what kind of action is he going to take?
This is coming from Barr.
Yes.
He's taking action with religious.
Barr and the DOJ. The Barr said expect action, but his spokesperson said he's not specifying what kind of action.
So what's his action with religious places going to look like?
Because you still, I mean, Lord have mercy. Like, why is this such a thing? You don't have to go to church.
He should go pull a Boris Johnson and let us know how that works out for him.
Exactly. You don't have to go to church.
Sorry, but it's just like, come on now. So we're asking what actions will William Barr take for religious institutions?
Mhm.
Oh, he's going to bully about something. Let's see.
There might be some sort of thing to where they could hold multiple services and not everybody go at once, or they can limit it, or just have it in the parking lot, in the car, and something of that nature. But here is the defense with the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. So here it seems to be like a lessening. And the Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, they can still go. Like, he's going to protect you. Either they're going to deem it essential, or they're going to say that you are protected if you go. The Ace of Swords and the 6 of Swords, there's like the law and the transport, what do you call it? Anyway, the transport, them going there, whatever that word is I'm looking for. He's going to protect you traveling to the church and service.
Yep. They can do multiple services on a Sunday and do like our grocery stores are, and only allow 100 people in at a time, or they can do like this one church. They were doing services at a drive-in theater and broadcasting it on the bright. So you're in your car with your family attending church. You can sing hallelujah all you want.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to sit next to a bunch of other people. But
or just stay your churchy ass at home. That way you don't. I mean, God is in your house.
He's gonna try to transition this, and they're not gonna like it. It's got to do partially with the money that the churches are losing. In the foundation of this. But he's got a plan for how they can share more safely. And he's basically going to kind of trap them. But I get he's going to try to appeal to them in a like-minded kind of way, like to get them in the like-minded thing of understanding this is a deadly disease. He's looking for support from all levels of the Republicans too. Because I have the King and Queen of Wands in the Republican card. So he's looking for some backup with the Republicans. I'm not getting a legal action. I'm getting it's more like a discussion of like, here's what you should do. A suggestion. I'm not getting like a law or anything like that.
God forbid you stay at home. What you get?
So I got him central to the reading with the birds and the bear. He's holding meetings, conversations. He may come out and speak. There's something really important going on here about some sort of a delay. Something that's being talked about that is false. This is false, malicious gossip, and a very important institution here, perhaps the government courts. I don't have the cross here, so I can't say religious institution. There is something foreign coming in. This could a big problem that's from far away. So this could be in regards to the bug here with the birds. That's something that affects your throat. And a document, him, and then setting some sort of an important trap or manipulating, and then staying home here. There is a false document here, and then there's something really important, an important news, important message this way. So he has the fox next to him. He might be trying to set a trap or manipulate for the administration or for people to stay home here. Because this year is not only is it significant manipulation, it's also important jobs, people like essential workers and stuff, but it's also setting a trap, anything that's a trap. So, he might be DOJ, but they can't trump over states. So he's like, go out and go to church, and the state's like, you might still end up in a trap, going to jail. So,
they were issuing tickets in whatever state that was, but I was reading the headline of people sitting in their car. They were given tickets.
The the Pope just did the service online today.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? Why can't you turn on your computer or your smart TV and just watch the service at home? Nothing in the Bible says you have to go sit in the church.
Or just open your face and talk to God. I mean, he's sitting right next to you.
Yeah, my favorite Bible verse, Matthew 5:6 or Matthew 6:5. I always forget. I always invert the numbers. But it's Jesus talking, and he says, pray in your closet.
Yeah.
That's where you have your connection to God and the divine. Pray in your closet. You don't have to be out in the public praying.
Yeah. Yay.
Well, speaking of the Pope, he has said it is now time to consider a universal basic income. So is this something that is going to be taken more seriously in the future? He called it wage. That's what he called it. I was trying to figure, he didn't say income, but the same thing. I was just trying to figure what word did he use. But universal basic income, it is time to consider that. I know Canada is about to pay, I forget who it was. It might just be government employees, but like 75% of their wages are about to be covered. Not a $1,200 one-time check. So will this be taken seriously in the future?
It's going to be hard to get something through with it, to get the details worked out. I've got that on the bottom. There's a little bit of bullying going on with this. It's going to take more investigation to figure it out, because to break down the source of income and what each job pays, they're just, I get like they're kind of stalling and moping around with it. So I don't get anything quick is going to happen with it. But if they can get some more like-minded people with it and gain some support with people emotionally drawn to this idea, then it's going to have legs. I don't see anything soon with it. I think this is going to take a long time. I think we'll get universal health care before we'll get a universal income.
What'd you get back?
I got the child, the mice, the fox. This is talking about a new disease that is making people suspicious. This is also something new about the details with the mice and workers here. Look at the details for the workers, because this new illness has made people suspicious and lost jobs. So I asked for a clarifier. I got the moon, but the moon is a positive card, but this is not anytime soon. With the child is 1 year minimum with the child. So I'm not saying that we'll get that within a year, but perhaps this year coming up, because of how this thing has been handled, may bring up more opportunities to talk about, hey,
Or at least, begin the conversations in a year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get under, because up at the top line, there is Donald Trump's administration, the Four of Wands, and the Devil, naturally. Now, in particular Devil card, it's just a big, gigantic guy, right? But his tongue, as you can see there, is what actually binds them. It's like the chains that they are bound by It's tied to his tongue.
Yeah.
So it's like his administration, the words he says, the things he puts forth, his agenda is what is actually binding this in particular this piece of legislation. Because I do get here with the Four of Pentacles that there is a desire to hoard money is basically what this would be. But there might be some sort of change here with the Queen of Swords. The Nine of Cups and the Ten of Wands is letting us know this is a ways off, but it is still a possibility. With the Magician card, it will come back. With the Eight of Wands, there will be some communication about it. But under this in particular guy, no. Because the words he says is what binds the people, is what binds this piece of legislation. So, because he could make it happen right now, but he won't. So it's not no time soon. So Jen, you had with Richard Neal and the House Ways and Means Committee.
Yeah, last year he requested the full report on how the IRS and Mnuchin handled the request to turn over Trump's taxes per the federal tax code. So, oops, sorry, Lucy just jumped down. And I had emailed a question to me: were the taxes altered? And is the information that they're giving to the House and Ways and Means Committee, House Ways and Means Committee, is it accurate? So, did they manipulate Trump's taxes? Did they go in and doctor him?
They got some of his taxes.
They have not gotten his taxes, but they've gotten the report on how they were handling the request for the taxes.
So is it being manipulated?
It was a stall. So and now it's of course up in court. And then I had another question kind of tied to that. So, they Dr. Trump's taxes?
Yeah. I get Seven of Cups first card. Right after that, Donald Trump with the King of Swords. And there's the Knight of Wands. Something that's delivered is actually not as it seems with the Hangman. And then I get the False Strike with the Knight of Cups. So whatever it is that you are being given is rooted in the Seven of Cups. So yeah, it is doctored, it is altered.
I get it's altered too. I got moneyed news, or something tangible and something sneaky by someone supportive to Trump. So whether that's Mnuchin or whether that's accountants, but somebody did something sneaky on his taxes.
So I asked, were his record, his taxes altered? I got the man, which is him, a woman. I don't know who this is. There's the report, the actual paperwork with the taxes. I asked for clarifiers. Yes, they were altered by multiple advisors here. Not just one, multiples that may have.
Okay. So
have made it look a lot prettier than what it really is.
Yeah. So the second part to this is when Trump's tax information does come out, will he have to quickly go and sell off a bunch of his properties like Mar-a-Lago? Because they're going to start figuring out there's a lot of fraud in his taxes. Will he very quickly have to pull off a lot of properties when his tax info comes out?
There's one that's going to sink, or actually a couple that may sink because of false stuff, towers specifically. I don't know if these are Trump towers, or I mean, they have to be because it's a tower. Long-term lies here. So the towers, it's telling me towers in particular are going to sink. What are you getting, guys?
What you got done, Johnny?
I get a new action with the Ace of Wands. And the Six of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Emperor, and the Magician. That looks like a yes. There will be some sort of rush to action or rush to something that exercises his authority over his in particular businesses. I also adds the Andorra cards. What would he be doing at the time his taxes come out? There is something here with the Hand of Fate and the Sun. The Sun is not like in the tarot to where it's like illumination. This is perseverance. So he is something that has been accumulating is now hitting. So this seems to be court cases. So it kind of matches up with what we're saying is he's going to be going through a lot of legal trouble, legal issues, and a whole lot of stress and anxiety, worry, blah, 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 blah. And he's going to be depending on those around him with the water and the unicorn. So these are probably his supporters and lawyers. So he's going to be going through a lot of court cases, liquidating a lot of assets, that type of thing, because this is probably going to be an expensive couple of, or probably 6 years for him coming up.
I'm getting it's multiple too. You know, the Empress is about abundance, like an abundance of properties and like quickly moving into action, you know, to sell, disperse. But I get he's gonna like get stopped by the courts. He's gonna have to wait like he starts it, but he's gonna get held up by the courts. He's doing something dishonorable and the court stops him. Like, no, you can't sell that. We have to look at this first.
So you're saying that they'll like freeze him, basically? They'll freeze him from selling anything, like freeze his properties, freeze his assets until they can go in and like audit everything and be like, oh, look, you've committed 50 crimes just for this one property. Like,
yeah, like there's fraud here, so guess what? You know, we might even take the property. If there's money laundering involved, you know, like Manafort lost a lot of his properties.
Yep.
Here's why words matter, because if you like, let's go back to the tale of the Bible, how God created the universe, the world and the universe with his voice. So words are mighty, as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. Words are very mighty. They have a lot of strength, have a lot of power. You can manifest a whole bunch of things. What did he say about his taxes? When he first got on the scene, I am being audited. I will show them to you when I'm done being audited. Now he is actually going to be audited for real.
Yeah, yeah.
He has manifested his own auditing. Thank you very much. This is how that works. You want to be successful? Keep saying you'll be successful. It worked for Donald Trump. He's going to be audited.
You know, when you ask for abundance, be careful because you can get an abundance of problems. Be specific and what you're asking for an abundance on. You know, I am financially abundant. Whatever. Be specific. Words matter. It's a menu. Pick them carefully.
Yeah.
So I have two more. How will retailers fare after the corona has ended, or at the very least after the most damaging part of it has ended?
Yeah. Emily emailed me this. She's also a former Macy's person, like me.
I know the store I worked for, all they did was close an hour early. That was it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yay.
Everything out here where I live, Johnny, that's not essential. Like the only thing that's open, grocery stores and pharmacies. Everything else, shut down.
Now, I know all, because my area is built on tourism, and they are suffering like nobody's business. The restaurants are still open, but they are not doing the volume that they were doing because they don't have people coming in. All they can do is meet you outside, take an order and bring it out to you or something of that nature, but they're not getting the same volume.
So they're still doing 10?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like over here, the only thing that's open is fast food stores, but there's no dine-in at all.
They're not doing dine-in. You can't go in, but you can Order ahead of time and they'll bring it out to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm kind of getting this two ways. I'm getting like the bigger retailers legally, like they can get more money. So good news for them. They get more cooperation. But what I get is the smaller ones is going to cause more problems, like more bankruptcies, more destitution. You know, the lost dark night of the soul. So the small mom and pop places are going to struggle, but the bigger ones, they're going to get bailout money to help them.
Priorities. Lord have mercy. What you get back?
Interesting. I got the birds, the clouds, the snake, the anchor, and the ring. There's conversations. People they're nervous here with the birds. Has a side of nervousness about the confusion and uncertainty over the next few months ahead and the trouble that's coming. Also about the prolonged lies about everything. These people are like, they're getting misinformation. And then down the road, they secure their contracts and promises. What's interesting here is that I know that this doesn't apply to everybody, but down the road, there may be conversations about people that work in retail, perhaps finding a way to form unions here to give them a little bit more like bargaining power or whatever, which is strange because I don't know if that's even available for retailers.
They do have it in certain states. I know in New York, when I worked for Macy's, the New York boroughs, we had unions. The executive offices were not unionized, but the employees in the stores that worked in stores were all unionized.
Yeah, so there might be conversations, you know, as this thing drags on for a few more months where people start talking about unionizing just for more protections. So.
Yeah, I get it ends in burden because of the pace is very, very slow here with the chariot. And there's not a whole lot they can do with the Eight of Swords, especially when the messages from his administration and him directly here with the Fool are not actually helpful. He doesn't have a solution because, again, they don't actually know what they're doing. They're just in charge. But they don't have a whole lot of options, and so it will still be a burden. But like I just seen the comment say, shop local. Shop local if you can. That directly affects your local economy. Now, I'm not saying don't go to the big box stores because they're going to have exactly what you need, but still, shop local if you can, because after this is over, they're going to need the most help.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention they employ a lot more people, but anyway. So my last one, I'll do this one too. I'll use how am I going to do this? Okay. So somebody sent me a comment and I thought it was funny, so we're going to do it. I'll use my playing cards. How about that? Somebody asked, how many decks will I have when I say I have enough? I currently have 112. And I think that's enough. Mind you, I say that's enough because where they're stored right now is very heavy. And so to pick that big bitch up takes a whole lot of effort. So therefore, I don't want to put nothing else in there. That's why I don't want it anymore. Not that there's none out there I don't want to buy, but it's heavy. So am I done buying tarot decks or not? How many will I
There's always going to be new, you know.
That's the problem. Like, people stop making them, I'll stop buying.
I got transitioning to calmer waters on the bottom, so that tells me you might slow down a little bit. You know, you're like
I like variety though.
starting a little bit of a transition. That's my pack your bags, you're moving card. So, you know, if you're thinking about moving, you may think about like holding off until you get moved.
I got 140.
I only pulled one card, Johnny, because I was looking for an amount. I got the house. That's 4. So that could be 40,
Oh,
400,
no, I'm not buying 400s.
maybe 4 or just 4, you know. So
But I'm not done apparently because I get the Wyvern, the Stars, and the Talisman. These are my cards here.
It's interesting, Johnny. It's an addiction. That's how I'm getting it. It's like you feel very strongly about them, and creatively, when they appeal to you, it's an addiction. But you're going to move forward into action when you feel that balance of the is it a strong deck for me, and does it appeal to me, and you're going to purchase again. So I'm not getting a number, but I'm getting that it's a little bit of an addiction. That's okay. We all have our addictions. Mine happens to be, shoes. When I was working in corporate America, I've got a zillion pairs of shoes, and now I'm working from home, and I never wear them. I'm in my house shoes all the time.
I use all mine. I do. 5 at a time. Actually, 6 sitting up here now.
You do rotate them around pretty frequently. Yeah. So.
Oh, Lord. Well, thank y'all for joining us here on Easter. Is it still Easter? Is it Easter Sunday? I haven't celebrated a holiday in 15 years, so I don't actually know.
So Easter over here, John.
4,000. No, I'm not buying 4,000.
Passover was last week, 4,000. Just say for Karen.
Oh, shoot. Why not? I mean, see, here's my thing. And I don't really care about them being heavy for me, so much so as we hire movers. When we do move, I don't want it to be heavy for them. And so, because me, I can just slide it across the floor. I ain't got to pick it up at all. But it's heavy. So
yeah, they are heavy. They are like, even if you put 10 decks in a box, they're heavy. I went to...
I know, Jenny, you froze.
Couple of decks in my handbag, and off I go to guitar lesson. I'm like, God, why is my handbag so heavy? And I looked in there, and there's a couple of decks in those heavy boxes. I was like, oh man, pull them out.
78 spirits in a bag is real heavy. Well, we will see y'all on Jen's channel next week. Be looking for a post for those who are curious about how we do our questions. There will be a community post. You can go on the page, or you might see it in your feed, that you can put a question for the live streams there. We don't actually take them from the live chat. We take them from that post.
Yeah, my community posts are not showing up in the feeds that often, so you may have to go to my channel to click on my community tab to get to the post. But I usually post either Sunday morning or Saturday night. Okay, give us questions for Sunday night.
Okay. So we will see y'all then. Y'all have a good or safe rest of your